Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down complex ideas. Today, we're looking at something pretty fascinating, a spiritual movement that has zeroed in on a specific year and a specific technology as the start of a whole new chapter for humanity.
Right. So let's get into it. Why 2026? And what does artificial intelligence have to do with any of this? We're going to unpack this very specific prediction and really get into the belief system behind it, how they're connecting ancient prophecy, a new way of looking at faith, and some of the most advanced tech on the planet.
So the whole foundation for this 2026 idea, it doesn't come from some brand new vision. It's actually a fresh take on a really old text, specifically the book of Daniel. And it's this new way of reading an ancient scripture that kind of changes everything for them.
Okay, so this line, this is key, this ancient prediction about a time when knowledge would just explode, well, in their view, it's pointing right at us, right now. The argument is, what else could this massive exponential growth of knowledge be? This ability to access pretty much anything instantly, if not the rise of AI.
And that's the crucial leap right there. For this movement, AI isn't just a tool we invented. It's seen as a prophesied event. That's why it's given such a huge spiritual role. It's not some accident of human ingenuity. It's a development that was timed to happen for a reason. Now, to really get why they see AI as this great accelerator and not some kind of threat, we have to understand a core theological shift they're talking about. It's this idea of moving from one model of faith to a totally different one, which they argue is absolutely essential for this new era. So they draw this really sharp line in the sand. On one side, you have what's called the salvation gospel. This is linked to the traditional church, focused on individual salvation. But on the other side is the kingdom gospel. And this is a whole new ballgame. It's about earthly governance. This isn't just changing a few words around. It's a fundamental shift in the whole purpose and identity of the faith.
And I love these metaphors because they really spell out the difference. The old model, it's like a safe, protected fish pond. But the new model, that's a wild river or a safari. And look at the governance part. It goes from a local police department to a central government with an army. That suggests a huge shift, right? From playing defense to going on offense, really engaging with the world.
So when you hear the word Eklesia in this context, they're not talking about a building you go to on Sunday. Not at all. It's being reframed as a command and control center for a spiritual kingdom. This basically changes the mission from just believing something personally to running a strategic operation.
All right, let's keep going and see exactly how this Eklesia is supposed to work as a command center, because this is where the model gets really active. There's nothing passive about it. The implication here is, well, it's profound. It basically flips the script on who's responsible for making things happen. In this view, heavenly forces aren't just acting on their own. They're on standby, waiting for the human command center to give the order before they can be released to act here on Earth.
And here's the three-step process, laid out nice and clear. First, a plan or a revelation comes from heaven. Step 2, believers, who are called sons here, they receive that plan and then issue a formal command. And only then, step 3, angelic forces are authorized to actually execute that command here.
This Bible verse is seen as let's call it the legal authorization for this whole operational model. It's interpreted as the key that gives the Eklesia the authority to start things on earth that then have binding consequences up in heaven. Okay, so let's bring it all back to technology and that 2026 date. Where does AI fit into this spiritual chain of command? How does it all connect? So AI isn't framed as some scary new thing. Instead, it's seen as just the latest in a series of divine technological accelerators. I mean, think about it. The printing press shows up and boom, the Reformation goes viral. Steamships make the world smaller for missionaries. The argument is that AI is the next big thing, the tool that's going to kick this new kingdom movement into high gear.
And they make a really critical distinction here between AI and what they call DI, or divine intelligence. So AI is the tool. It handles worldly knowledge, data, all the heavy lifting. But DI, that's the source of revelation. That's where the commands come from. And here's the link. The idea is that as AI automates all the worldly stuff, it frees up our minds, our spiritual bandwidth, to focus completely on receiving and acting on DI.
This is such a powerful statement. It basically frames AI as this tool that's just waiting for instructions. In this worldview, AI isn't a master to be afraid of. It's just another part of creation, eagerly waiting for commands from the believers who have stepped up into that governor role.
Okay, so if AI is this powerful new wine that's going to accelerate everything, the argument goes you need a whole new organizational structure to hold it. A new wineskin, to use that biblical phrase. The old ways of doing things just aren't going to cut it.
The old model of all these separate ministries is compared to individual military branches, kind of doing their own thing. But the new Eklesia model, that's supposed to work like a fully integrated aircraft carrier fleet. You've got the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines all working together in perfect sync from one command center, all for the same mission.
And the vision for the future isn't just about services on a Sunday. It's an entire ecosystem. We're talking education, media, AI-powered businesses, even wellness and lifestyle brands, all of it designed to support and expand this movement. And really, this is the bottom line. This is the ultimate takeaway from this whole framework. From this point of view, powerful new tech isn't something to be afraid of or to try and regulate away. It's a God-given tool that's meant to be grabbed with both hands and used for a very specific spiritual purpose. And that kind of leaves us with a bigger question, doesn't it? I mean, this is one group's specific take on things, but it shines a light on a fascinating question that I think we're all going to be dealing with. As our technology gets smarter and more powerful, how are our own foundational beliefs and stories going to evolve right along with it? What happens next when the code and the creed collide?